Good evening, friends. It's Friday once again, and I'm back with another tale from my collection. Now it's time to grab a snack, dim the lights, and wander into the night with a story I call Reflections. The old cowboy was out looking for strays when he saw a flash of bright yellow sticking out of the snow and the rocks. Riding over to investigate, he moved the snow to find an older man and woman huddled together holding a Bible. Their eyes were closed in peaceful slumber, but the chalky appearance of their skin told the tale. Apparently, they had been caught out in the storm and froze to death. He took the shovel from his pony's pack and dug them a grave, which was proper, and laid them to rest together. After pounding the cross into the grave, he laid their Bible upon it, took off his hat, said a prayer, and got back on his pony to look for lost cattle. The wind blew the Bible open and flipped the pages slowly to the end. It was as if God himself was reading the book that man called to him by. The good book lay open as a testament to the folks buried there, and its back cover remained open. On the last page, the man had written in the Bible, "The nights are getting colder and our options fewer. Our food is very low and we don't have any ammunition. Charlene is feeling poorly, and I know she will not be able to fight again. She's so weak that she could barely move herself closer to me to keep warm as I slept. I awoke to the sound of a chill north wind blowing through the rocks where we lay, and saw that she curled up in a little ball like a baby. I don't dare light a fire, for fear they would see it and come after us. I pulled her close and rubbed her to keep her warm. My thoughts turned to the little ranch we had started up in the mountains. It wasn't big, but it was just the two of us, and we didn't need much. A little garden plot for vegetables, a milk cow, several head of cattle, and a few chickens for eggs. It was what the rich folks referred to as a subsistence ranch. We sold one of the cows each year to buy in a stock of flour, salt, pepper, and the little things a body needs for comfort, such as needles, thread, and a book or two. Our book collection was vast. We had perhaps 30 or 40 books in all, and Charlene and I would take turns reading to one another in the evenings by the fire. I always loved to hear the sound of her voice, forming words and making stories come to life. As I looked above the hearth, I could almost see pictures moving in the flames to what she was reading. In the spring, we planted corn and vegetables that could be canned to stay us through the long winter, and in the summer we caught fine trout and dried them on sticks to the east side of the cabin. Some of the trout we fried in cornmeal from the previous year's corn crop, and that was some fine eating. Each year we helped the cows to birth and ate only wild game until winter. Then I would choose two from the herd which we could do without. One I sold to market, and the other I butchered for our winter meals. The winter in the mountains would keep our meat frozen until we set it by the fire to thaw. On good years, when the market was up, I would have a little extra money, and I always made sure that my sweet Charlene got something for it. One year, I bought her a fine yellow dress to wear on days when we went riding the horses or picking berries. On another occasion, I bought her a fancy looking glass so she could watch as she brushed her long golden hair. It didn't hurt none to watch myself shave, neither. I didn't get cut near as often, and Charlene liked that I didn't miss any of the rough hairs. We tried for several years to bring some youngsters into the world, but it never happened. One summer day, we rode into town to see the doctor to find out why, and he said that my Charlene couldn't have babies. She cried for days and said that she had failed me, and it took every lick of sense I had to convince her that this was God's will. We read the good book together for a while, and after that, pretty soon, it didn't matter that she couldn't have children. Then last summer, when we were down to the creek taking a bath, Charlene saw a pretty golden rock in the water. I looked at it and bit into it, and it was soft. Sure enough, it was gold. By living in the ways of God, we were blessed with more money than I could ever count. We walked the stream with a basket and picked up gold for 2 solid days, and then we loaded the horses and went to town. The mining company paid me well for that first load, and I hired several young strapping men to come and help mine the gold for us. We paid them well, a full 2% apiece, and banked the rest of the money except for some that we sent to our kinfolk back in Virginia. Then it happened. Charlene came to me one day and said that one of the men was making eyes at her and talking about doing me in. We packed up a few things and tried to go for town to get help. We had just come over the pass and could see town off in the distance when we were ambushed. We lost the pack horse and rode until our horses could go no more. The pack horse had all my ammunition except what was on my belt, and I used that to shoot us a rabbit for dinner. That brings us to now, and these words I'm writing on the empty pages at the end of the good book. It's starting to snow, and I don't rightly know if we'll make it, but if we can see the sunrise, I will try to lead Charlene back to town in safety. If it happens that we don't make it, and anyone ever reads these words, please think of the good times Charlene and I shared. I'd be obliged to let you know my name. It's Jebediah Springer. Thank you for spending your time with me. That's all for now, but I'll be back again next Friday with another story. Just for you. Until then, sleep well.